Hi friend, welcome to Pawan IT Zone, and in my last video we have seen Haproxy, what is Haproxy and how it helps load balancing your infrastructure, and we understood this diagram that how Haproxy works. So Haproxy is working as a front end for the end users, and these Web 1 and Web 2 is working as a Haproxy backend server, which is having the actual website content or applications content. Now we will understand in this video how we can set up the configuration of Haproxy. So Haproxy is having basically three blocks. It's four blocks, but I'll talk about three blocks because these three blocks is very important for understanding or configuring your infrastructure. So here are three blocks I'm drawing. So I have drawn three blocks at here. One I will call global configuration. This one I'll call front end. And this one I'll call backend. So let's understand global configuration. So once you will install the Haproxy, which we'll see in the next video. So once you will install the Haproxy, you will see the configuration file of Haproxy, which is called haproxy.cfg. So once you will open this configuration file, you will see the bunch of configuration and setups. So in that setups, you don't have to be confused. You have to look at these three blocks, and these three blocks will help you to configure your infrastructure as a load balancer. So in global configuration, you don't have to change. It's a fixed configuration. In this, you configure Haproxy for front end users, and whatever setting you will do in the global configuration, that will be fixed, and it will help you to improve the performance of your website. The front end is basically a Haproxy front end, and once user will access www.training.com, it will go to the front end. If now there's some categories like you are trying to build front end for 80 port or for SSL port, 443 or any other TCP ports. So once you have configured and the user, let's suppose user are doing this www.training.com. So it is basically 80 port, and once this Haproxy will listen this www.training.com, it will go to the front end 80 port, and once it will receive the request from the client, then it will search the appropriate backend server. So the front end configuration will have the backend information. So let's draw a backend information at here. So I'm saying use backend call HA website. So once the front end will have the request, once the front end will accept the request, it will go to this configuration file, and this will check for the 80 front end. Then it will decide where it has to go, right? So it's saying that use backend HA website on behalf of some condition, which we'll learn in the next video. So once it finds that it has to go to the HA website, then it will call a HA website HA configuration. So it's HA website. So now it will call the backend service, which is called HA_website, and the website will have the information about the servers. That is server, it will name something like S1. You can name something like S1, and there will be IP address of web1. So let's call it web 1.com colon 80. I mean, this website is running on this server is 80, and this is also on 80 port. So it will check. Now I'm drawing a second server, which is S2 web2.com colon 80 and check. So once frontend will receive the request from the user and it will find the appropriate backend server, it will call the backend server. Backend server will have these two servers. So the request will go to this server on behalf of priority, and the second request will go to the server 2. So ifs, and here we have pointed check text. This check test, what it does, like it will check the server health. So once the server, it will find a healthy server, it will give the request to the server. If the check will not find this is healthy server or it's not available, then request by default transfer to the S2 server. So this way, the configuration we are going to build in the next video. So in the next video, what I'm going to do, I'm going to install Haproxy, I'm going to configure, I'm going to establish these two servers. So basically, I'm going to create a lab for this practical, and I will try to make it more clear in the next video. Thank you for listening to this video, and if you have a time, please join me in the next video. Thank you.